First, thank you, Tom Apple, for hosting the day. I will say I wimped out as well, but it wasn't just the rain. I actually have to go back to Dover after, and there was no way I was going to be able to bike quick enough back to Dover. So it's always great when I can spend the morning with my friend, the mayor, and I'm glad to be here. I also want to acknowledge Jim Moistoff from DelDOT. We've been talking for the last several weeks about this event and him and his passion and quite frankly my passion for these issues. I saw Jeff Regner, chair of Newark Bicycle Committee, is here today. Thank you. I saw Heather taking pictures from Will Mapco and Kyle Sonnenberg, Newark City manager. Thank you, sir. It's fitting that we are standing here on the campus of University of Delaware to discuss bicycling's role in transportation. It is also fitting to be here in Newark because this city is the first community in Delaware to be recognized as bicycle-friendly community by the League of American Bicyclists. This city is leading the way for every municipality in Delaware by showing how bicycling can be a vital part of your transportation system. Your efforts to help not only Newark, but every community in Delaware. There's another reason why it's very fitting that we're here on the campus of University of Delaware. The first is many of the young people sitting in classrooms today or bicycling or walking to class will one day be working for DelDOT, or hopefully one day working for DelDOT. And those future engineers and planners will have an extremely difficult job of changing the transportation network from being dependent on fossil fuel systems to a system that embraces other technologies. So that's a huge challenge for us, but I think as long as we're hiring blue hens, we'll be fine. Now, I think we're all proud to live or work in a state where 68% of our roads and highways have shoulders and our state parks have 80 miles of bicycle trails. But quite frankly, that's not enough. We have to stay focused on continuing to alter our roads and bridges to accommodate the alternative modes of transportation, like mass transit, pedestrian, and of course, for bicycles. I'm here to discuss DelDOT's continuing support for making Delaware more bicycle friendly. To the entire bicycling community and to all residents of Delaware, let me be clear. Even though I'm in this role as acting secretary and there's some new hands at the tiller on this issue, the course remains the same. This department is committed to making Delaware more bicycle friendly. Indeed. The centerpiece of our efforts is the Complete Streets Initiative. This was signed by Governor Markell 2 years ago, and Complete Streets was an executive order that directed DelDOT to accommodate other modes of transportation whenever we construct or repair roads and bridges. Using this policy as our guide, we have installed many miles of bike-friendly shoulders, lanes, and striping throughout Delaware. Within the past year, one of our greatest advancements in making Delaware more bike-friendly was installing bike lanes on St. George's Bridge, finally making it safe to cross the C&D Canal. As I stand here, it is at this very moment, many projects are being constructed that will make the roads more accessible for bicycles. 2 such projects are nearby. One is on Route 141 from Kirkland Highway to Falkland Road. We are constructing shared use shoulders in both directions. Another nearby project is the intersection at Silverside Road and Marsh Road that now has bike lanes. I'm also proud to say that DelDOT's largest construction project, the Indian River Inlet Bridge, will have a 12-foot wide bicycle pedestrian lane on the east side of the bridge overlooking the ocean. In addition, throughout the construction of the bridge, we've maintained bicycle lanes. Even our smaller repaving projects, we continually look for ways to change the striping or the shoulders to create either shared use or dedicated bicycle facilities. Of course, making a state more bike-friendly is not just about asphalt, it's not just about cement, and it's not just about road stripes. Quite frankly, it's about education, and it's about how we educate our public to work with our municipal leaders. One of our major efforts to educate the public about bicycling is our annual Delaware Bike Summit. Our next Bike Summit this year, which is our 3rd year for this event, will be held on October 14th in Lewis, and I hope all of you will be there. Of course, we still have a long road ahead as we evolve our transportation system. In this economic climate, I very often get the question, why should the state and why should DelDOT be paying for bike lanes? The answer is clear. We have to. We have to save lives. Last year, there were 158 car-bicycle accidents, 90 of which were in Newcastle County. 3 of those crashes were fatal. 21% of those crashes involved children under 15. 96% of the bike car accidents result in injury. Like most of you, I find these numbers unacceptable. We must provide better facilities for bikes, and we must have fewer people killed. The question goes on as I'm asked, why are we spending that money on bicycle lanes? And we've got to do it because of our community. We recognize that in this coming year, our transportation needs will change. As fuel prices continue to rise, more people will park their cars. They will walk, they'll ride their bikes, they'll catch a bus. We have already seen dramatic increases in the past 2 years, and to ignore this trend is to do a great disservice to the people of Delaware. Another reason that we have to spend money on bike lanes is to build a healthier Delaware. Here in Delaware, 40% of us are classified as overweight or obese. Consequently, more of us are afflicted with heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, joint problems, and many other chronic disease. The generation may be the first, or this generation may be the first generation in Delaware history to have a shorter life expectancy than the previous generation. But we can reverse this trend. If people walk, if people bike more, they will be healthier. All of us need to get from behind the wheel, get off the couch, and ride our bikes. If you ask most people why they don't ride their bike in Delaware, they'll say it's unsafe. And quite frankly, that's DelDOT's challenge. That's my challenge. We have to do a better job building roads that accommodate cyclists. We have to educate motorists, and we are obligated to show motorists that they have to share the road with bicyclists. Many of the recent changes have come directly from our governor, Jack Markell, who has made it very clear to Delaware and very clear to the Department of Transportation that we must become more bike friendly. He made the challenge to us not just because he is a cyclist himself, which he is, but he has made this challenge because he can see what we must do to prepare for the future. In these efforts, we have had a strong, strong partner. And that partner is the members of the Delaware's bicycling community. Today, I want to publicly thank all of you for both your patience, tenacity, and vision. Every day, we work with many cycling advocates to make these improvements. So, in closing, I'd like to say a quote from John F. Kennedy, who said, "Nothing compares to the simple pleasure of a bike ride." I thank you, my friends.